Somewhere in this town, there's a sideshow that nobody can see. Yet the fumes are insufferable, and the screeching is unrelenting. Somewhere in this town, there is an uncle sweating out half a can of OE, shouting, "Nah, let them fight." This town is what the cat dragged in. Somewhere in this town, there's a bowl of fruit spilling over, spray painted on the wall of a crowded underpass right between the tents. Somewhere, someone is praying for abundance. I thought of manufactured scarcity when one of the twins came to my front gate telling jokes. "You want to know why all the McDonald's around the world struggling?" A smile creeps across my face. "Why?" "Because there's only one Mac left." "Man, if you don't get away from my yard talking that nonsense," I say, unable to conceal my laughter. Somewhere in this town, there's a community garden begging to be set loose. Somewhere in this town, there's enough to go around. Somewhere in this town, the Isley Brothers is carried on a breeze, fluttering past the kente cloth and obsidian, a sensual agenda pollinated by a Black man of a particular age, cruising on a motorcycle of a particular make. Someone in this town just said, "Make a left on Huey P. Newton Way." Somewhere in this town, a precious baby finds their way home by searching for the house with the women panthers lifting their voices and raising their fists. This town is what the cat dragged in. Somewhere in this town, a man sits ashy and naked on the top of an NL bus to the city. OPD tries to talk him down. Gangster Party plays in a car nearby. Somewhere in this town, iridescent boys on dirt bikes weave like schools of fish past the boarded up shops and protest murals. Somewhere in this town, a woman is telling her friend that every time a man looks at her, she feels like she is being pulled over. Somewhere in this town, an Asian elder is being protected because somewhere in this town, there's still strength in numbers. Did you know there are over 15,000 vacant units in this town right now? Did you know there are over 4,000 homeless people in this town right now? Somewhere in this town, the mayor is eating an Oreo with a napkin tucked inside her collar. She unlocks the magic and discards the chocolate that holds it together. But somewhere in this town, there's a parade just for Black joy. Somewhere in this town, the Black woman is God. Somewhere in this town, God Almighty is a mom for housing. Did you know that you can get yourself one of them new fancy studios on Broadway for $2,200 a month? Somewhere in this town, there's an artist on a scaffold threatening to say the quiet part out loud. Somewhere in this town, hella can't begin to describe it. Born cross-faded, raised too vibrant. Out of night bursts a sweet defiance. This town goes hyphy to keep from dying. Somewhere in this town, the needle drops on Randy Crawford's raw silk as two lovers moan over the sounds of a sideshow that neither of them can see.